Welcome to the 2024 NAIA Women's Soccer National Championship Selection Show. Get ready as we set the stage in the battle for the Red Banner. 40 teams have been selected into the championship field and will compete to be the last team remaining and be crowned champions. Action in the 41st Annual NAIA Women's Soccer National Championship gets underway on November 21st at 16 sites around the country, with the winners advancing to the Ashton Brosnahan Soccer Complex in Pensacola, Florida. The final site will be played starting on December 2nd and conclude on December 9th, broadcast free on Urban Edge Network and the NAIA Network. Dreams of reaching the national championship field can be realized in two ways. Each conference determines who their automatic qualifiers are. Teams can earn their bid by becoming regular season or tournament champions, or finishing as the runner-up in the regular season or conference tournaments. Those conferences with 12 or more schools receive 2 bids into the field, while those with less than 12 institutions receive 1. The rest of the teams are determined by the NAIA Women's Soccer Selection Committee, comprised of NAIA head coaches and administrators from around the nation. Are you ready? The announcement of the first and second round bracket starts now.
Let's get started in the Williamsburg bracket, where the first team will be the Broncos of Hastings. The Broncos are the regular season champions of the Great Plains with an overall record of 15-1-5 and were 7th in the country with 12 shutouts. They will face the Tigers of Olivet Nazarene. The Tigers were the regular season runners-up in the Chicagoland with an overall record of 9-5-6 and were perfect on PKs this season by going 4 for 4. The winner of the first round matchup will advance to face the number 1 seeded Patriots of the University of the Cumberlands. The Patriots claim the Mid-South Tournament title with an overall record of 17-0-0 and have only allowed 5 goals all season. Next, we head to the Siloam Springs bracket in the overall number 16 seeded Golden Eagles of John Brown. The Golden Eagles claim the Sooner Tournament title with an overall record of 14-5-1 and were 2nd in the nation with 157 corner kicks. They will play the Eagles of Central Methodist. The Eagles grabbed an at-large berth out of the Heart with an overall mark of 16-3-1 and were 16th in the country with 121 quarter kicks. Heading south to the Savannah bracket, the overall number 9 seed are the Bees of SCAD Savannah. The Bees were the Sun Tournament champions with an overall record of 15-1-2 and were 9th in goals scored with 77 and assists with 68. They will play the Grizzlies of Georgia Gwinnett. The Grizzlies won the Continental Tournament Championship with an overall mark of 12-6-2 and were 19th in the nation with 49 assists. Traveling to Michigan in the Spring Arbor bracket, our first team is the Fighting Bees of St. Ambrose. The Fighting Bees earned the Chicagoland regular season and conference tournament crown with an overall record of 14-5-2 and have won 11 straight matches. The Fighting Bees are also 11th in PKs, making 5 of 6 on the year. They will take on the Mighty Oaks of Oakland City. The Mighty Oaks won the River States tournament title with an overall record of 15-4-0 and have made 6 of 7 penalty kicks this season. The winner of the first round matchup will advance to face the number 8 seeded Cougars of Spring Arbor. The Cougars claim the Crossroads Tournament crown with an overall record of 16-3-0 and is averaging 17.2 shots per game with 62 goals. Jumping over to the Campbellsville bracket, where the first team will be the Racers of Northwestern Ohio. The Racers were the tournament runners-up in the Wolverine Hoosier with an overall record of 13-3-4 and is 3rd in the country with 14 shutouts. They will face the Pilots of LSU Shreveport. The Pilots claim the regular season title in the Red River with an overall mark of 15-4-1 and were 8th in the nation in shot percentage with .241. The winner of the first round matchup will advance to face the number 4 seeded Tigers of Campbellsville. The Tigers earned an at-large berth out of the Mid-South with an overall record of 17-1-1 and are 4th in the nation in goals scored with 89. We move to the Prescott bracket in the number 13 seeded Eagles of Emory-Riddle. The Eagles earned the Great Southwest Tournament crown with an overall record of 15-2-3 and were 8th in the nation with 430 shots. They will take on the Bobcats of UC Merced. The Bobcats claimed an at-large berth out of the Cowpack with an overall record of 10-3-2 and have had 11 shutouts on the year. Transitioning to the Indianapolis bracket and the overall number 12 seeded Knights of Marion. The Knights earned an at-large berth out of the Crossroads with an overall record of 16-3-2 and are first in the country with 171 corner kicks. They will take on the Running Eagles of Life. The Running Eagles earned an at-large berth out of the Southern States with an overall record of 14-4-1 and are ninth in the nation by going 5 of 7 in penalty kicks. Up in the Caldwell bracket, our first team is the Warriors of Westcliff. The Warriors earned the Calpac Tournament Championship with an overall mark of 12-0-2 and have posted 12 shutouts with 51 goals scored this season. They will face the Royals of Hope International. The Royals will make their third appearance in the tournament field while claiming an at-large berth out of the Great Southwest with an overall record of 14-4-1 and have 60 goals on 330 shots this season. The winner of the first round matchup will advance to face the number 5 seeded Yotes of the College of Idaho. The Yotes won both the Cascade regular season and tournament championships with an overall record of 17-0-2 and are carrying a 15-match winning streak in the tournament and were fourth in the nation in shots with 465. When we come back, we'll take a look at the final 8 matchups. Welcome back. Picking back up in the Hattiesburg bracket, our first team will be the Evangels of Mid-America Christian. The Evangels earned an at-large berth out of the Sooner with an overall record of 14-3-2 and are averaging 19.3 shots per match. They will take on the Gold Nuggets of Xavier. The Gold Nuggets won the Red River Tournament crown with an overall record of 13-5-2 as they converted all 6 of their penalty kick chances. The winner of the first round matchup will advance to face the number 2 seeded Crusaders of William Carey. The Crusaders were the Southern States Tournament champions with an overall mark of 18-1-1 as they led the nation with 323 shots on goal. Moving to the Lebanon bracket and the number 15 seeded Phoenix of Cumberland. The Phoenix claimed an at-large berth out of the Mid-South with an overall mark of 12-5-2 and are 8th in the nation with 430 shots. They will take on the Wildcats of Indiana Wesleyan. The Wildcats claimed an at-large berth out of the Crossroads with an overall mark of 13-4-2 and are 7th in the nation with 12 shutouts. Flying over to the Bartlesville bracket and the number 10 seeded Eagles of Oklahoma Wesleyan. The Eagles are the regular season champions of the KCAC with an overall mark of 16-0-4 and were first in the country in shutouts with 18. They will face the Pioneers of Mid-American Nazarene. The Pioneers earned the Hart Tournament Championship with an overall mark of 14-4-2 and have put over 55% of their total shots on goal. Kicking it to the Columbia bracket, where our first team is the Drovers of Science and Arts. The Drovers gained an at-large berth out of the Sooner with an overall record of 17-2-1 and are 8th in the country with 139 corner kicks. They will take on the Falcons of Friends. The Falcons claimed the KCAC tournament title with an overall record of 14-5-2 and were 7th in the country with 12 shutouts. The winner of the first round matchup will advance to face the number 7 seeded Cougars of Columbia College. The Cougars won the American Midwest Tournament Championship with an overall record of 17-1-1 and were third in the country with 14 shutouts. Sailing down to the West Palm Beach bracket, where our first team is the Bulldogs of Tennessee Wesleyan. The Bulldogs were the tournament runners-up in the Appalachian with an overall record of 14-1-3 and are 7th in the nation with 23.2 shots per match. They will take on the Owls of Oregon Tech. The Owls are the Cascade tournament runners-up with an overall mark of 15-5-1 as they are averaging 15.2 shots per game with over 50% of those on frame. The winner of the first round matchup will advance to face the number 3 seeded Seahawks of Kaiser. The Seahawks earned an at-large berth out of the Sun with an overall mark of 14-1-1 and are 6th in the nation with 23.9 shots per game. Now we're off to the Marshall bracket and the number 14 overall seeded Vikings of Missouri Valley. The Vikings won the Hart regular season crown with an overall record of 14-4-1 and were 16th in the country in shot percentage with a .205. They will play the Bears of Truett McConnell. The Bears earned the Appalachian regular season and tournament title with an overall mark of 16-1-3 and were 4th in the country with 251 shots on goal. Heading east to the Pulaski bracket and the number 11 seeded Firehawks of Tennessee Southern. The Firehawks grabbed an at-large berth out of the Southern states with an overall mark of 17-2-1 as they led the nation in assists with 136. They will face the Mustangs of the Masters. The Mustangs claimed an at-large berth out of the Great Southwest with an overall record of 15-4-1 and are 5th in the nation with 459 total shots. Our final matchups will take place in the Grand Rapids bracket. The first contest will feature the Ravens of Benedictine. The Ravens grabbed an at-large berth out of the Hart with an overall mark of 13-6-1 and have held opponents to under a goal per game this season. They will take on the Bulldogs of Concordia. The Bulldogs were the regular season runners-up in the Great Plains with an overall mark of 13-6-1 and were 5th in the nation in shot percentage with a .251. The winner of the first round matchup will advance to face the number 6 seeded Saints of Aquinas. The Saints are the regular season champions of the Wolverine Hoosier with an overall mark of 16-0-2 and are 1st in the nation in shots per game with 30.
Let's take one final look at the 40 teams who will compete in the 41st annual NAIA Women's Soccer National Championship. Thanks for watching and good luck to our qualifiers. The battle for the red banner begins now.